Hello everyone and welcome to the CUET English webinar. Our goal for this webinar is to provide you with valuable information and insights that will help you crack CUET UG English exam. During this webinar, we will hear from the expert in the field, Mr. AP Bhardwaj, who is the #1 best-selling author for English for competitive exams, who will share his knowledge and experience with us. Let's hear from Mr. AP Bhardwaj himself.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhupender. Thank you for providing me this opportunity and to share my views with the students who will be appearing in the CUET paper 2023. As you know, it has been introduced last year. CUET examination for admission into Central University was introduced last year and it was conducted in the month of August. But now this time, as the students got 1 year, the number of students are going to be multiplied. In the first chance, there were approximately 15 lakh students, and which will now swell to 20-25 lakh students, and it is a quite tough competition. It's not a very easy job. It's a very tough competition. Out of those 20-25 lakh, only a few thousands of students would get selected. And as far as English is concerned, English is one of the essential papers. Paper 1A, 1B, and 1C. These are the three essential papers, and which are the must qualifying papers for the students. And you know what happens basically? Students take the languages very lightly. They think that we know all about A to Z about the language, and we don't need any special preparation for the CUET English paper or other languages paper or other compulsory papers. But the matter of fact is that maximum number of students lag behind in this paper, and they are not able to qualify or to get the bare minimum passing marks, because of which they are not able to qualify the overall CUET examination.
Right.
So my first advice to the student is to not take any paper lightly, not only English, not to take any paper lightly. They should equally divide their time and efforts and energies for all these papers.
Okay, sir. So going forward, we'll be discussing few questions which I believe every student has in his mind while preparing for CUET UG English exam. So, sir, starting with the first question, that you have been helping students of various competitive examinations ranging from CLAT to civil services and judicial services. Could you please provide an overview of the CUET UG English exam paper to our students? Why should students not take this paper lightly?
Okay. Again, just to extend my views in the previous questions, I would again stress upon this fact that they should not take the English paper lightly. Now, let me tell you one example. As I prepare the students for law entrances and CLAT and as well as the judicial services, I have seen hundreds of the students who are able to qualify the judicial service examination after clearing their law examinations, but they just are not able to hit the jackpot just because they do fail in their English language paper. Again, they take it lightly that we will be able to do it. Now, let me give you one example. The students think that they have ample vocabulary at their disposal. They do have, but you know, vocabulary is stored in our mind in two separate drives. One is passive drive, one is active drive, which is known as active memory and passive memory.
Right, sir.
If one student has 1,000 words in his passive memory, which he or she knows, but they do not make their frequent use in their day-to-day life. If they will read it, they will come to know that they will be able to make the guess about that word. But if you ask them to write 100 words in 30 minutes, and I can have a bet with you that not even a single student out of the 100 students would be able to write 100 words in 1 hour. Okay, right, so this is the problem, that the students think that they know each and everything, but because they do not make special and determined effort for English language or any other language, so right, for day-to-day conversation, it's okay. But when it comes to the competition, they lag behind. So they need to make special efforts on the English paper also.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for giving such a deep insight about how to go, how to prepare the mindset while preparing for this particular exam. So that brings us to our next question. What is the overall weightage given to the three key components of CUET UG English exam?
Basically, there are three basic components of CUT English paper: reading comprehension, vocabulary, and test of correct usage. If you broadly look at these three components, reading, if you study the CUT 2022 papers thoroughly, you will come to know that there are 18 questions on the comprehension, 22 questions on the vocabulary, and 8 questions on the test of correct usage. So, vocabulary occupies the place of preeminence. It becomes crystal clear that vocabulary plays a great role because 24 questions directly on the vocabulary section, then 18 questions on the comprehension cannot be done properly if you don't have the ample vocabulary at your disposal. So 18 plus 24 is 42. So vocabulary plays its role in 42 questions.
Okay, sir. So what is the further segregation of marks for various topics in this exam?
Okay. As I told you, comprehension is of 18 marks. As far as vocabulary is concerned, there are 6-7 components from which 4 to 5 questions are asked, like word, their meaning, their usage as a meaning in the sentence, then their synonymous, their antonymous, idioms and phrases, one word substitution, and spellings of the words. 4 multiplied by 6 is equal to 24 questions. And as far as test of correct usage is concerned, there are 2, 3, 4 types of questions. Like last year, they in one of the slot paper, they asked a question about the reordering of sentences. They gave 4 sentences and reorder it to give a correct meaning. Okay. Then they also ask the questions about fill in the blanks with proper words. Okay, they again deal with the usage of the words. Okay, so these are the broadly 3 components which are further divided into this type of category.
Okay, sir. Sir, bringing on to the next question, how does your latest and most comprehensive book for CUET UG English, published by OakBridge Publishing, provide unique and superior value to the students?
Okay. Now, as far as my book is concerned, which has been recently released last week and which is quite in demand, great in demand on online as well as on offline retailers, you will come to know that the book is divided 6 into one part. 6 into one part, these 3 components: comprehension, vocabulary, and usage. In addition to these, we have provided 3 components: grammar, so as to refresh all the concepts of grammar thoroughly, because students think that they do know the rules and regulations of the grammar, but they are there in their mind but not exactly and clearly as they are supposed to have. Okay, so the book will help them to refresh the concepts of grammar also. And there are 1200 correct errors, the errors which are being committed by them normally, advertently or inadvertently. ठीक है, और जो मतलब which are very minor errors, but error is an error, mistake is a mistake. ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
1200 corrections. In addition to that, we have provided vocabulary in detail, 11 chapters, then 12 chapters on grammar, then 24 to 30 chapters on usage, then comprehension, then sentence correction. Then in addition to that, in order to give the real feel of the exam to the students, we have provided the CUET 2022 slot 2 held on 18th of August 2022 paper with solved answers key and mock test for the self-test. So I think this is going to be the most comprehensive book for the students, and they need not to go anywhere else if they focus on this book.
Right, sir. Sir, could you also share some insights? How can students extract the maximum value from your book? How they plan and prepare to study using your book to excel in the exam?
Okay. Again, I will let me explain you. Then they should start the part A and part B simultaneously. From the part B, they should just refresh 2, 3 topic daily: use of noun, use of pronoun, use of verb. They can just refresh their conception and solve the practice test. It will be more than sufficient. The most tedious, cumbersome, and taxing job is to learn the words, remember them, and inscribe them in their memory, which is a very taxing job and which students normally evade. You usually they just ignore that. Enough, we have enough words, but they don't have enough words. If they will start with this book, the chapter number 1 of the book starts with the 2000 important words with meaning and the usage. They should just go through 50 to 100 words daily. Okay, it will take them 1 month approximately. Even if they start their preparation after the plus two on 31st March, start from 1st April, within the 1 month they will be able to do that job. Okay. And in addition to that, they should start preparing from the, like they should read words for 5 days, and then they should revise them on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday and Sunday, they should try to learn 50 idioms, 50 one word substitution, 50 word clarification. Okay, 50, 50, 100. If they are able to do 100 word clarification, 100 idioms, 100 one word substitution 1 week, it is approximately 500 each. Then again, all these topics will be covered in their 1 month. Once they go through all these things, then they should start practicing from the practice test papers and MCQs. Okay, when they are done with these two topics in 1 month, they will have enough time to test their correct usage from part C and solve the comprehensions from part D. If they go in such a way, in 1 month, if they are able to do one part A and part B, they will be in a quite comfortable zone. And if they will make the test of their usage, if they will take the self-test and they will go through the part C and part D, they will be quite comfortable and they will come to know that they have done sufficiently for their CUT English paper.
So I believe these advices and tips provided by you will help the students to prepare for the English exam in a short span of time. So,
Yes, of course.
bringing the next question, how should students motivate themselves to score well in a highly competitive exams with over 1 million students competing for the best universities and colleges?
You know, Bhapinder, the most important thing in any competitive exams, be it CUT English or IAS or NDA or CDS or CLAT or SLAT, any competitive exam, the most important things is time management. Time management is life management. Now what happens? Everybody will start preparation from 1st of April, okay?
Yes, sir.
And the exam is going to be held in the last week of May.
Yes, sir.
Everybody knows that they have 60 days. Now, how they make the best optimum use of those 60 days is going to make a big difference. And I know there are people who will start from zero and they will be able to crack the exam if they are able to make best optimum use of these 30 days, these 60 days. And there will be so many students who will remain overconfident and they will just waste their time and energy in other activities and they will lag behind. So time management is the most important thing. Secondly, how to proceed further with the English paper. What is the importance of CUT English paper and what is the usefulness of our paper? As we are also providing, you know, my company, my publishers, they are just providing a write-up how to crack CUT English on their social media campaign. Okay, all the students must go and search for it and read it. And this is a 10 pages, write up, which starts from the overall, weightage to the three components and then further segregation of the marks and how our book is useful for that and how to go with that to crack the CUT English paper. I think this write up is going to be a great boon and added incentive to then along with the book.
So, sir, I believe the student should properly manage their time and then they
Yes.
should study accordingly to clear the CUT UG English exam. So, sir,
Yes,
what
of course.
advice would you give to students for the day of the exam? Any last minute suggestions? For example, how should students answer the question during the exam so that they don't make any errors and they score
Mm.
maximum in that particular exam?
Okay. Firstly, they should maintain their level of confidence. They should neither be underconfidence nor overconfidence. They should maintain their confidence. They should strictly avoid anxiety and tension. Anxiety and tensions are very, very big enemies of the student's performance. If you are anxious and tense, you will even, commit a mistake even if you know the answer. But they should simply go through the paper. Then they should try to find out which is their biggest strength, which is their biggest score, which is the biggest area where they can perform the best. Probably the vocabulary is the most important section, and vocabulary is the vastest section, and it is the most scoring section. If they are able to score all the they are able to solve all the questions in the vocabulary section, and they are able to score all the marks in vocabulary section, they are qualifying the paper. Tension of qualifying the paper is over. Now they have to add over to their marks and increase their merit for the various central universities. So first of all, they should start, and lastly, they should go to the comprehension, because that is very time consuming and it's very lengthy and time consuming. But again, when they read the comprehension, there are the tips given in this book that they should not stick to any particular question or any particular comprehension. Just go through the comprehension, go through the question. When you go through the question, once again read the comprehension, you will find the answer.
Okay, sir. So I believe that students appearing for this particular exam should be confident enough to answer all the questions. They shouldn't be overconfident or underconfident about their preparation. So,
Yes,
sir,
of course.
thank you so much for taking out your valuable time and giving us a deep insight about the CUT UG English exam. I also would like to announce that students who read and rate the book on Amazon will be eligible for a free bonus webinar and Q&A session with the author, Mr. A.P. Bhardwaj, for doubt clearing. In order to participate, they need to share a screenshot of their feedback with the provided email or WhatsApp number mentioned below. Once they share their feedback, they will receive more details about the webinar and Q&A session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhupendra.